Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Zodiac Bandit, and today I have a question. Is Robbie joining the cast of Critical Role? So, I don't believe he is joining for a handful of reasons. One, I think he's just there to make the transition from EXU to Campaign 3 for Fern and Orem a little bit more seamless. And I think eventually he's going to go back to that group. I think they're going to try to cycle in new people in EXU and let Ashley and Liam be in this campaign, and maybe eventually when EXU comes back, Travis and Laura go over there, or maybe Sam and Talzin, or any of the group there, or even completely new people. EXU was there to introduce us to people like Abria, Amy, and Robbie, and allow Matt to play. So I think having them be over there is a great idea, and shifting in people after Orem and Fern leave will work really well, especially if Robbie returns, because that way we have 3 original cast members from EXU back and new characters coming in. I think introducing less newer characters to EXU will be a good thing to allow EXU to be its own sort of thing instead of just having Fern, Orem, and Dorian go back after EXU. I don't think that makes much sense, because if Dorian stays the whole time, what level is he going to be when he goes back? And Fern and Orem. So I think they're going to leave, or I think Dorian's going to leave, and the other two are going to stay. So my second point, I think the reason he is actually been there as long as he has been is because I think he's going to be a huge part in the Legend of Box Machina animated series. I think he is one of the voice actors in it who's going to be heavily in it, and I think that'll be, this is their way of introducing us to him on a much larger scale than EXU, because he's about to be on the same episode count as EXU was. So giving him this much exposure to me says he's going to be in Legend of Vox Machina the animated series. He is a voice actor. He is in a handful of anime right now. I think the one that I know of that he was in was Seven Deadly Sins. I can't think of anything else at the top of my head. I know he was in Final Fantasy 15. So he's a voice actor just like the rest of them, and I think he's going to be in Legend of Vox Machina, which is why he's getting such a prominent spot on the table right now. I also think that almost every guest they're going to put on this campaign is probably going to be from the Legend of Vox Machina animated series. I think it'd be a great way to get us to know, outside of just the core cast, the other voice actors in the show, because it's not going to be just Matt doing every character. And I think it's a very good chance that Robbie is one of those people on the show. So my last point is the new opening to Critical Role. Robbie is in it for all of 2 seconds. He's by himself and isn't in any of the group photos or group clips. So I think his section is in a place where it can be edited out and replaced by something else or someone else for whoever the next guest is. It's in a weird spot in the whole thing where it's completely alone by himself, and it has two of the weirdest transitions from it. It goes from Liam looking up at a ladder to a weird cut that's not as seamless as the rest, because every cut up to this point has been pretty seamless. Like the transition from Travis into Liam to this clip was almost perfect. So then this weird transition happens where it completely cuts up the screen, and then we get Robbie, and then from the right to the left we get a black line going across the screen until Matt comes up. I think this is a really awkward transition from Liam to Robbie to Matt, and I think it's going to be one that's going to be edited out when he leaves. And the fact that he's not in any of the group shots around the table, to me, just confirms even more he's not going to be there 24/7. I think, if anything, he's going to have a sort of Ashley role from the last 2 campaigns, where he is probably going to be the most recurring guest out of everyone. And Ashley wasn't a guest, she was a main cast member, but she had blind spot. So now, I think Robbie is going to kind of fill in that spot of constantly being the person who leaves and comes back, if at all. I'm saying if he comes back, because I truly believe he's going to leave and then return in EXU. I don't think he's going to actually do this, but if he is going to be a returning guest, that is how it's going to be. It's going to be him leaving for a bit, him coming back, him leaving for a bit, sort of like how Ashley did. And I actually do have another point outside of that, and it's kind of a weaker point because I've been told not to use it by a handful of people as a legitimate source, but the fan wiki. It's listed him as a guest from day one, and it's not officially edited by any of them, but I do think there's a little bit of insight that they have to all this. They are very good editors, very quick, and they get answers pretty, faster than most. I can go on there during episodes and see updates from them sometimes. I remember after Travis's new character, came out, I think an hour later I checked out the wiki and he was already there. Or, they're very quick on their information, and I don't know, I just feel like there is a little bit of legitimacy to them being there. So that's what I think about the Robbie situation. I don't think he's joining the cast. I think he is going to be a returning guest at most. I think, to be honest, the more logical thing is he just leaves for EXU and then that's what happens. I actually do have a theory about what this Thursday time slot's going to be, the third Thursday or the fourth Thursday of every month, because starting next year, they're taking that off every time to fill it with something else. At least that's what I gathered from the State of Critical Role thing they did a while back. So I think EXU will fit into that slot, and then that's where Robbie will end up going back to, and Amy and Matt, and then I think 2 other people will join in, whether it be completely new faces or old faces like regular cast members like Travis, Laura, Sam, and Talzin with new characters. Which, actually thinking about that now, I don't think Travis would do that. Travis is very stingent on being one character at a time sort of based. So who knows? I think that EXU slot will be quite regular to that every 4th Thursday. And I think that's where Robbie's going to end up. I think he loves playing Critical Role. I think he loves playing D&D. So I think he's going to stick around in that capacity and maybe return every once in a while as a member of the main cast or as a guest, a special guest quite regularly. Maybe. I'm a little on the fence about that still. I think it's more likely he just goes to EXU. So that's my thoughts on if Robbie's joining the main cast. I don't think he is. Yeah, tell me what you think. I know a lot of people differ on this, so let me know what you think, and see you guys next time.